watching me pull up across the room. I think you like the view. You gonna make a move. I don't make this easy for you. It's not intentional. I'm not responsible. I never played a game. But if it's in my face, I don't make it easy for you. Everyone is an option. I don't think that's a problem. No, my eyes make me sweet, but most people don't fuck with me. I don't make this easy for you. I don't make this easy for you. And now is the time between you and I. Get out of your head, step into my mind. Be that easy for you. I could be that easy for you. Baby, I like to burn. How do you wanna feel? Tell me your fantasies as you discover me. Can I make this easy for you? I wanna make it easy for you. And it's not intentional. I'm not responsible. I never play the games. But if you're in my way, I don't make this easy for you. I won't be that easy for you. Everyone is an option. I don't think that's a problem. No, my eyes make me sweet, but most people don't fuck with me. I don't make this easy for you. I don't make this easy for you. And now is the time between you and I. Get out of your head, step into my mind. Be that easy for you. I could be that easy for you. And now is the time between you and I. Get out of your head, step into my mind. Be that easy, be that easy, be that easy for you.
Live Fibonacci Radio, Fibonacci Live here. Welcome, welcome. Here with our hosts, Alchemis, and here with Lana.
What's poppin'?
Here with MoodE. Here with MoodE,
Hi.
the wordsmith.
I'm back.
Hey man, it's Christmas, man. We back in the building. We got to get it back together, y'all. But yeah, Fibonacci Live is in the building. We here at Galleria d'Arte. We're excited. Happy holidays to everyone. I hope you guys are safe. Enjoyed yourselves. Check out our episodes. Check us out on FibonacciRadio.com. For all the beautiful artwork we have, our art piece for the week is one of MoodE's non-commercial pieces. Yoda is our art piece for the week. You guys check it out. We have lots of pieces. We have lots of different expressions of art. This show is filmed out the gallery, and we get down with many, many topics. We did the boy crisis part 1 last week. We've done love. So we're really excited. We are also giving a shout out to all the individuals that are involved. We're coming from the Chicagoland area. Shout out to our brand ambassadors, Wordsmith.
Yes.
Is there anything we have to pick up, man?
Just a reminder to like and subscribe as always. You know, make sure you continue to follow us. We have a lot of exciting things coming up, so just please like and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. You know what I'm saying? To spread the word. And go to GalleriaDeArte.com because you can get tickets to be part of our live studio audience. So if you want to come and rock with us in person, we suggest you do that.
I guess we're gonna jump it off, man.
I'll do the formality.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I was gonna scratch into one of MoodE Alana, like, hey, but what, you know, like before we get too far, remember what y'all said. Yeah, remember what y'all said. You know.
I'm like, wait,
Exactly. So we're doing a part 2. I'm excited to be back because I was not in the building last week. So the word of the week, as it was last week, is manhood. Manhood is a noun and is the state or period of being a man rather than a child. Qualities traditionally associated with men such as courage, strength, and sexual potency.
There you go.
So that's the definition of manhood.
Hey, we had to wrestle with that sexual potency.
I was waiting for that.
Warren Smith.
Yeah,
We had to wrestle with that sexual potency last week.
And
I
then
think
the
we
actual,
cleared the air.
yeah, and then the actual topic, again, part 2 from last week, is the boy crisis. So,
Written by the book written by Warren Farrell.
yeah, Warren Farrell. Yep.
And guys, check us out. We will start uploading all the material. Our episodes, last couple of weeks, it's just a lot of material. It's really fun. It's heated. It's information that ranges from the aspect of not being loved to the aspect of the boy crisis. We also, what else did we do?
We did.
Those are the main 2.
No, those are the main 2 that we did.
I guess I'm excited about this next one.
Yeah, no, those are the main 2 that we did.
I'm tweaking. But shout out to I am because I'm excited about our next topic next week. I don't wanna let the cat out the bag, but y'all know how we get down. Our topics are straight to the point. They're direct. Give a shout out to all the podcasts out there. We're in the podcast world. We're in the metaverse right now, so we are excited to present these tangible, these thought-provoking topics that are related to wealth, related to art, health, whether wellness, health, art, different forms of expression. We really take it not just from the social media content or streaming, but we bring it straight to this platform. We have comedians that come in here. We have exhibits that we have. So it's the real deal when it comes to, you know, just really being a brand that comes off the radio. We broadcasted live from a 106.3 FM for several months. We will be going back to that platform. We're excited to just really bring everyone involved. You know, you guys check us out. Check out our website. As I said, we will have a Patreon and Cash App available next week, and it gets you more involved as part of our membership. There are amenities involved with the membership. And nice packages involved. There's more detailed information. There's facts that we drop that we won't drop here. There's behind the scenes content. And we also gonna find out what's going on with Lana. Lana always got something popping. She always got something popping. So if you want to find out more that's going on with Lana and MoodE, MoodE has her exhibit coming. MoodE has her art, different types of material that she's presenting and product that she's presenting. You guys are gonna be able to get part of that Patreon membership and get accessibility to all that, all this personality. So, man, Wordsmith, you was gone, so you gotta bust. You gotta bust in the F first, man. That's it, man. Give us something, Wordsmith, of what you got out of last week. Talk to us.
Wow, there were so many great topics. I mean, so many great. Yeah, the topic was great overall. So many great points that were brought up last week as it relates to the boy crisis and manhood. What can I set it off with today and pinpoint what I got off of that? I think that the one thing that resonated with me, and I think we talked about this the week before that too, was the whole word manhood, the definition of manhood. And I think it's so skewed in this day and age, and it's been skewed for a number of years now, but getting really to the core of what manhood really is. And I like the connection that was made last week about a real man is the one who's able to exhibit and show love, and really get into that core of love, and where does that love come from? How is that love learned? What's the origin of that love? Because when we think of, or society at large thinks of, manhood and what a true man is, I don't think the correlation with love is there. You know, expressing love and expressing that because love typically is associated with tenderness, or it's more of a feminine type of thing. So to say manhood and love, and they're in the same vein, I think is very powerful. So that's one thing I took away from last week's show that I believe is very eye-opening.
That was the main nucleus.
Yeah.
That was the underlying component. We talked about the nucleus that Warren Farrell discussed, which did the cause and effect of the boy crisis. As wordsmiths know, Lana and MoodE, we talked about it. The boy crisis was written by author Warren Farrell, and Warren Farrell described the effects of the way that men are handling reality, the way that men are handling relationships, the way that men are handling critical thinking, depression, and we'll go into those statistics in the next segment. We'll go into some of those statistics, but part of the boy crisis was the fact that Warren Farrell had detailed that it's the absence of a male. We talked about that even in the black community in 1965, 25% of the black men weren't in the household.
Right.
Now it's almost 75%, over 75% actually. We all know that that's a cause and effect in the communities. You know what I mean? So then we talked about the 1965. It was 3.5% of the white males that weren't in the home, and 2021, it's 35% of the white male not in the home. So what Warren Farrell analyzed is that when you have the lack of father figure inside the home, it had this effect. It had this drastic effect. But then, as Lana talked about and MoodE talked about, and you guys chime in on this point, you guys expressed that just because somebody in the home doesn't mean that it was more advantageous as far as the health or the wellness of the home, as far as the functionality of the home. And I did agree that if there's something that doesn't represent love in a home, that doesn't stimulate or support love, that most definitely is non-productive. But we're also talking about from a standpoint that that's a dysfunctional standpoint.
Right.
Meaning that most of us, we're part of that statistics.
Right.
We're part of the 83% of statistics that the home is broken in some type of shape or form. So, like Wordsmith just said, the true component, because you talked about that, Lana, and I did. I was raised by my grandmother. You was raised by your grandmother. But the thing that we had in common is that we knew that they loved us enough to put us in a position to succeed. Right. So when you talk about love, Fibonacci right here, Fibonacci Radio, we're kind of pinpointing, putting our little twist on it. We're saying that it's love in the home. And not only are we saying that it's love in the home, we're saying that it's a man's responsibility to hold on to that stature of love. If the man can't love, then the man can't get a reflection of love. So women usually project men in our society. You know, how the man behaves is how the woman's going to react or respond. Lana, you said that a lot. Like, hey, I'm gonna see how you get down. Yeah. And then I'm gonna go from there to decide how I want to, approach handling you or dealing with you if I so choose. So we always understood that the reflection of the man is the position that the woman holds, and if there's a lack of love, which means the presence of the man having enough love or sacrifice to be in the home. We haven't even talked about that aspect, is that nowadays, and Kevin Samuels, shout out to Kevin Samuels, I don't, for the most part, I'm 100% down with his ideology, but some things I would challenge, but that's not the point here. It's just the point of him discussing some particular issues that institute sacrifice. And we were talking about, in our other episode, we were talking about love and the attributes of love. And like you said, Wordsmith, we keep pounding it out like it's some type of romantic situation all the time, or it's always sweet. But love can be rough. Love can be tough. Love can be foolish. Love can be, you know what I'm saying? Love can be dangerous. And we'll get more into that, but I just want to.
Would you rather have love from somebody or respect?
Don't they go hand in hand?
No,
they do not go hand in hand.
She's making you pick one.
They do not go hand in hand. No, they do not.
We all heard the question.
Okay, can you put that out there one more time? And y'all subscribe to Fibonacci Radio, subscribe to our website.
Because you were talking about just love, foolish love, right? Happy love, tough love, sad love. So it's like, well, would you rather have, if you were with somebody, would you rather have this person love you, or would you rather have this person respect you?
I think that's based on what you need. What I would rather have, personally, is respect, because respect can get turned into love. But sometimes people love you but don't like you.
Yeah.
Sometimes people love you but don't respect you. They don't respect the things that you did. They don't respect some of the stuff, but they still have to love you. And that's what we're discussing. Love has more variables.
That's what I was saying when you said that. I was like,
respect is just, yeah, respect is just boom. Love got all these variables and levels. You know what I mean? We always.
You don't kill me. It's just a lot going on right now. Like, but respect, you're just not gonna cross this line. Period. At the end of the day, you could be as crazy as you want to be, but.
But you know what? I'm glad you said that, because that goes back to our last week topic and talking about the peas and the plate.
Yeah.
Meaning that most moms will allow that slightness of being challenged or having to negotiate something with a child.
Yep.
So that's losing respect. Mm-hmm. Most men in our society, we hold a lot firmer, and our egos play a lot holder position to getting our respect. Women are quick to compromise. You know what I'm saying? Women are quick to compromise to navigate to get to their objective. We want respect. Sometimes women are more focused. They're more. Right. Y'all have more of a cunning, approach to getting what you want, because you become more objectified. As a men, we tend to go to a place of where it's comfort. Yep. You know what I mean? Because we feel like we can go do what we got to do for what we want. So when it comes to dealing with another person, it's a little different than being as objectified, and we do want respect. And I think that part of that, I think the lack of respect may have something to do with the boy crisis. If they're, if the mom don't respect respect the dad.
I could definitely see that.
And I was talking to someone about that. You have the aspect of what the imagery is that the boy is going to have based on what's around him, how it's conveyed to him. My grandmother raised me, but she never talked negative about my father.
Right.
And my father, he worked. He had a different commitment. He had a different, and it was early 70s and stuff like that. So, a lot of times, when you got a job, you got an opportunity, you had to take it. So he took an opportunity, which was great, because if I wouldn't be probably in the position that I am. But as far as being in the home, that wasn't viable, but she never slighted, him on that aspect of it, so that gave me confidence. It gave me confidence, not because of what I knew about him, but it was what I didn't have to know about him.
Like my grandma did the same thing. Like it wasn't nothing like ever spoken negatively about my father. It wasn't, just he wasn't, like I would see him, but she never would badmouth him or just say anything. So it's like, even though my dad wasn't in the house, like I didn't have daddy issues, because I never viewed it as, oh, he's just such this bad person. It's like, okay, when we see each other, we're gonna figure it out, and until then, like, I'm cool. Yeah, like I'm not, but I didn't feel no type of way. It wasn't like this seed planted in me. Like when I see him, I'm like, my grandma be like, baby, he figured it out too.
Worse than how we looking, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, so shout out to Denzel Thomas. The chat is on fire again. He always brings about a lot of great perspectives.
Shout out to Denzel, man. Denzel, shout out Denzel, support us, man. He's been supporting Galleria d'Arte, man, and Fibonacci, man, radio. So shout out to Denzel. What Denzel dropping today?
He's talking about, he's saying that men aren't raised to love. He said we're raised to lust after.
I'll agree with that.
And a question that he brought about.
Very good point.
Yeah, with he said, would you rather have love or power? That was one question that he posed when we talked about the whole love versus respect. So love versus power. To the point about love versus respect, I look at love as the umbrella, and I think everything else falls under love. So I would much rather have love than quote unquote respect. I look at love as the end all be all. So that would be the camp that I fall into.
Everything's come out of love. That's why.
I think I look at love as the umbrella, and everything else underneath it, respect, hate, everything. I think all that is an offshoot of love. So I would much rather have love above all else.
Now, and that's the way I originally felt. Honestly, and I haven't. I'm glad you brought that up, because I didn't really choose to dissect it. But not to get off the topic, we're still talking about the boy crisis, and we're still antiquating that with that, but okay, let's compartmentalize that. Okay, you have love. So if you love a person, then that means you should have respect for them, is what you're basically saying.
Right.
In order to love a person, so is love automatically is respect automatically incorporated with love? And that's why I wanted to go back to the original question that you had. So, because there was a choice,
right?
And there was not an option.
But it's like for my thing, there is no. It's like it's
right. But for hers, and so and he picked his. He picked love, because you.
But it makes sense, yeah.
I say respect, because, and this is the truth here. I'm going to tell you why I say respect. Respect because most individuals don't know how to identify love. To me, love has so many variables that if I go, there's your form of love, and then there's my form of love.
Yeah.
So you can be a person that's spilling out 100% of what you feel what love is, because we talked about that at the episode of love. Love is defined by who loved you. That person, they have things called love languages. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that person's language of love, you know what I mean, might not be, but the respect, when you have the respect for as far as just breaking this, we're splitting hairs, it's all good, but as far as respect, when there's respect, what happens is you choose to give up something. You choose to want to give up something when somebody respects you. You know what I mean? The minute you be like, oh, he respect me, then, you go and you do a favor really quick, or, oh no, I got that, because you appreciate, because that's a connection. Love, a person, like I said, a person can love. We talked about that, and that's why I'm glad we started off our first episode with love, because how you love and how I love, it's different. And by the time we figured it out, because they said in relationships, because when you used to ask me the question, I'm looking towards it as how do you get to getting married?
But
how
that's how, right?
So,
right. No, but it makes sense,
so,
because I was looking at it.
I want you to hold that point. We got to go to a little bit of a break in a minute here. I know you got something to say. I can't wait to hear what you got to say.
Yeah.
It sounds like what you were...
And MoodE revving up. It's getting hot over here.
She's revving up. It sounds like you were saying, Alchemist, that respect is a little bit easier to...
You know what you're getting into.
Yeah, you know what it is. It's more of a defined thing than love. Is that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so when somebody says respect, they can that light bulb goes off. Okay, I know what that is. Love can cause more questions or more interpretations.
There's different love languages.
Okay,
that
makes sense. Yeah. This week we have it's a lot going on at the gallery this week, y'all. We got 3 great events. So tomorrow, Monday the 27th, we have Chef Efren. He's gonna have this is the first of the Medical Monday series.
Yes.
With hors d'oeuvres infused with CBD. He's gonna provide some knowledge on CBD's properties, values, and also some great recipes. Also,
that's gonna be nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be really nice. On Thursday, Art Noise comedy event featuring acclaimed comedian T. Murph is in the building this Thursday.
Man,
yes.
Shout out to T. Murph.
Yes.
Shout out to you, T. Murph. Can't wait till you touch down, man. Send us that information, and it's going to be live.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. And then wrapping up the week on New Year's Eve, we have an exhibit featuring Prolific Lee, who's an outstanding artist. The event will also feature Love Cork and Screw Wine Company. Okay. So for tickets to all of these events and everything else we got going on even after the fact, go to www.thegalleriadearte.com.
And one quick edit. It'll be Golden Vine Winery.
Oh, okay.
But we will have
Golden Vine Winery.
Yeah, but we will have Love Cork and Screw wine available.
Okay.
For our patrons, complimentary wine is what we have here at the gallery, and we will, because we do support Love Cork and Screw. It is a great product, so we're not even slighting it. We will be getting in contact with y'all, and is that anything? That's it. Is that it, Worst?
Yeah, that's all for this segment here. So we'll go to a little break, and we'll be back with Lana's viewpoint.
Man, 414. So that's a nice one.
I've been signing on the city lights. All this doubt around me, then but look, I got it right. Don't you try to hit me, now you live a petty life. All those nights I lay awake, I pray for better life. Now I wake up with a baddie like I said I might. This a better life, you never tried, I bet it right. This a better life, you never tried, I bet it right. You been stuck just where you at because you never tried. Want a better life, I had to try, I bet it right. Yeah, I just took a test and yeah, let me write. Look, I just took a test and yeah, I rolled the dice. Yeah, women I'll be bad because the fuck was nice. But yeah, I must admit that this ain't overnight. I just hit the double with the jackpot. I'm in the snow, this in New England, but I'm dying high. Now I'm not for the music when I can't stop. Ain't gon' let me out here what they ask me. Ask a favor what a shout out to gas me. Really, they ain't take a risk, but want the outcome. Then asking how come. I've been signing on the city lights. All this doubt around me, then but look, I got it right. Don't you try to hit me, now you live a petty life. All those nights I lay awake, I pray for better life. Now I wake up with a baddie like I said I might. This a better life, you never tried, I bet it right. This a better life, you never tried, I bet it right. You been stuck just where you at because you never tried. Want a better life, I had to try.
I'm all in this. I call the shots, I never call it quits. Trust my intuition, bet it's right and bitch, it often is. Seen too many others come and go, they had the wrong intent. Do it out of love and never for it, then I watch it get bigger than expected. No second guess it, I let it set it. It's God's plan, we out here only accepting blessings. I'm stuck with it, this mindset is terminal. In and out different terminals, leveling up is personal. And I already made it, y'all can miss me. I smack my girl's ass, tell her pinch me. It's hard to believe I made something from nothing. No hindsight discussions, I've been writing, I love it.
All this doubt around me, then but look, I got it right. Don't you try to hit me, now you live a petty life. All those nights I lay awake, I pray for better life. Now I wake up with a baddie like I said I might. This a better life, you never tried, I bet it right. This a better life, you never tried, I bet it right. You been stuck just where you at because you never tried. Want a better life, I had to try, I bet it right.
We're back here, Fibonacci Live, Fibonacci Radio, broadcasting out of the gallery. The topic, manhood. The topic is the boy crisis. Warren Farrell.
It's the boy crisis by
Part two.
Warren Farrell. We've been diving deep into the definitions of manhood and how manhood translates into how the boy crisis came about because of how you're loved, which is a topic we covered last week.
Yes.
And so we're rolling from
Week before
Lana.
last.
Huh?
Yes, week before
Week
last.
Week before last. Oh, yes.
Week
Well,
before
today is the
last.
boy crisis part 2.
Yes.
So Lana
Yes.
had, we think we left
Tricky ass,
off.
some tricky ass
I think
little
we left
question.
off
It's like, you know
on
what,
Lana's
man,
points
Wordsmith, it
after
takes Lana
Wordsmith
always
transition. So.
and everybody, wait till we put out our clips in our in our episodes from the last couple of weeks, and Lana goes ham. All right, Lana goes ham, and MoodE comes off like she's in control, but then you can just start seeing the wheels unravel. So y'all pay attention to these clips that are out there, and I'm gonna tell you, to say which one would you choose, that's bogus. And I'm shocked that she got us even answering this because we are on the boy crisis, but this is what boys go through. These are what people go through. So right now, we have to first get through respect and love. And this mug's in jail. They can't distinguish the difference between respect and
No,
love.
that's my point. Like,
This
look,
mug's in jail that didn't know the difference
I'm like,
of respect and
no,
love.
but for real, like, have you ever like fallen in love with like a disrespectful person? Like, that is the worst.
No, that's
relationship.
not the thing.
Like,
Has a disrespectful
Respectful
person been in love with
like,
you?
when I tell you that is the worst relation, and that's when you value respect. Like, you realize, like, when you really are in a relationship with somebody and you know that they love you, but when they get mad, they don't have no picks, no boundaries, no, like, they willing to do whatever. Like, when you say no, they don't listen to your no. Your
that's not love.
Your space doesn't, what space? Like, when you really date, it's like, yeah.
Because
like, this is different.
Because
Like, no.
the real love,
No.
I mean, you're right. The real love runs parallel, but the real love isn't damaging. It just gets on your nerves.
Yes.
You know what I mean? The real love is
Yes.
like, once it's violent, once it's aggressive, once it's
It's
volatile,
like-
it's more selfishness.
No,
it's
for
more
real.
something else. But the real one, it's like, what make it terrible is because you don't want to body the person. You like, they're a good person. You know what I mean? So
It's
it tugs at you. Because we're talking about the real effects of love. And speaking of real love, the reason why I stood on my point, Wordsmith, to chime you back in, the reason why I stood on my point of respect is because love is not enough for marriage to survive. Love isn't enough in most cases, because to incorporate, and we all talk about getting to the final stage. We all talk about conjoining and being married and being productive. And when it comes to that level, you want to have a good, healthy relationship and a functional marriage, and you want to have a long-lasting marriage. So once you realize that just being in love with the person is not enough to sustain the marriage, what happens is, if you respect the person enough, then it brings forth transparency. Transparency is the ultimate level of love to me, is when you actually lay yourself out there. You know what I mean? Because only fools fall in love. So I think that in order to get to that stage of transparency, you have to be respected.
Yeah.
They have to respect that who you are. They have to not try to change you. You know what I'm saying? They have to have respect for, the things the choices that you've made. They have to have a respect for the things that you've done for them. They have to have a respect for your presence. If without those things, then you know that love, they can love love.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, one thing I want to interject really quickly, and that
Boy crisis.
that does
Yes.
that is eye-opening the way you put that. So I think what I can safely say is this, because I've got it's crystallizing a little bit more for me now. So love has no bounds.
Yes.
Respect will provide that structure for love to thrive in a healthy manner, is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and Moody's
like
not sure
that.
about that.
I don't
but
agree
that's
with
that. But that's that wraps that up for me.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I
Yeah, nice
like
little
your
bow.
point though
So,
a
yeah.
lot, but can I
go ahead.
interject here?
So
Can I-
hold on. I'm not gonna let him slide off. Based on Lana and what she asked the question, Jeff Wordsmith, you didn't respond correctly.
No, yeah, I
he's
stand
giving
corrected.
his opinion.
Oh, you changing it to
Yeah,
respect.
he just
Yeah.
right.
Oh, wordsmith. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to say
What you
what I really want to say is both, because I think they need
Well,
to both
yeah,
be,
but-
for to reach nirvana, you need both of them.
Exactly.
Yes.
But if I
yes.
have to pick, then it's gonna be the respect, because it's gonna keep the structure that love can go crazy inside of.
Yeah.
In a healthy way.
Yeah.
Love can
Yes.
be crazy. Yeah, without the respected boundaries, you're right.
Yeah.
That's a
Love is
wordsmith.
like,
I like that.
is
That's
a
why he the
dog.
wordsmith.
That's how
Yeah.
you train it. Like, for real.
Well, I feel like I might be the odd one out here, but I don't think what Jeff said verbatim, or I'm sorry, Wordsmith said verbatim was that love has no bounds and that respect has bounds. So that's essentially. So I don't agree that love has no bounds. I think that what love is defined as is having a bound. Like, I'm not going to accept someone who tells me that they love me and then have them act crazy, like, just because that's not love to me. Because if you're being crazy, like, I just feel like that's not what genuine, true love
We're not talking about
is.
crazy. We talking about love. We talking about the person that loves.
And I'm saying that that's not love. That's
No,
just not what love
But we're
is.
not calling that love. We're talking about what's considered love, and that's when where I was talking to Lana, and we were both talking about is that love is
We're not talking about what your version of love is, like, but what love can be
The
perceived
the
like all
components
of
of
the components
love.
of love.
We're kind of focusing on the fact that love has levels. Love have variations. Love have love languages. So when you
Right.
start saying respect, when you put it into the mixture of respect, in order to get to love, you kind of have to have respect. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, if you're, like, I'm not necessarily talking about the different forms of love. I'm saying that love is going to have respect. So why would you be crazy? Like, my point and what I just wanted to
You're
finish
saying
my
your
point.
love already has respect. What I'm saying is separate the two. That's where the question comes, right?
Right, but
right.
I'm just trying to get to the question part, because, like, I understand what you guys are saying.
Yeah,
so,
no.
Maybe I'll come back with that. I'll just wait to come back with that. So you guys can go ahead.
What you mean? What you mean? Like what do you mean? Like,
I'm just gonna marinate on it and I'll come back with my point.
It sounds like you're saying love has everything else baked into it.
Not necessarily, but
Okay.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
So I think this next point I feel like can tie both pieces together. So I've always heard that a man typically marries or dates his mom or ends up marrying his mom, like just in whoever
and the girl marries
right,
her
right,
dad.
and then the girl marries her dad. So I feel like that's true, and I feel like this goes into the negotiation aspect when we talked about, like, when the male's not, or not even if a male is present, it may not be the best situation possible. You'll realize, like, all that falls on the mom into what I feel like a guy expects his girl to tolerate or to deal with because they saw their mom tolerate or deal with it. Like, so, because I feel like I've had that in my experience once. Like, I dated somebody and then I realized the things that he expected me to deal with in his mind growing up, they were normal for his mom to go through or endure. So then it was time for him and I to start dating. Like, he would make, like, well, my mom did, it's not no, it's always this comparison to mom. And it's like, but I realized the mother took on very unhealthy, like, or things that didn't define my version of love. But then it was like this set expectation. So I feel like just tying it into the boy crisis.
So,
go ahead. What was you about to say?
So the crisis would be the crisis would be the lack of love, whether it's
Right.
misidentified,
Right.
whether it's dysfunctional.
Right. But then, so then I feel like, as a woman dating in this type of society, I feel like there has been times where I was expected to you know, understand what this man is going through and oh, his life is so hard. And or I feel like women I feel like moms, specifically with grown boys, tend to play like, oh, what their baby is going through is so massive, but then there's not enough emphasis on the fact that then the woman is there having or is expected to deal with his emotional baggage or trauma or whatever that is
and
just
it's not
so
the
difficult.
woman, the world.
The world,
See,
right?
that,
okay.
and that's why there's the boy crisis. Now we can
Okay.
relate it again to relationships.
Of course.
But the crisis
Of course.
is the fact that the adaptability or the inability to respond to reality that's going on.
Right.
So in a relationship, that's a form of relationship. But then you got to deal with the fact that someone at the job got to deal with this grown man,
Yeah.
this grown male not being able to be a man. You have all these different environments and spaces
Right.
that you have to still deal with this lack of manhood. You know, and what I want to point out related to the crisis is that some of the statistics that we've gotten information on, and one of the things that I'd like to bring to attention is education. Worldwide, boys are 50% less likely than girls to meet basic proficiency in reading, math, and science. These are the these are the detriments to the father not being in the home. Another one is, and let me know, Wordsmith, where we are in time.
Yeah.
But I wanted to put out these statistics
Get
so we
90
can
seconds.
analyze them and break them down. We'll do a couple now, and then we'll go into another segment. We'll talk about them, and then we'll close out with the statistics on the last segment. But it's a crisis of mental health. ADHD is on the rise, and as boys become young men, their suicide rates go from equal to girls to 6 times that of young women. It's a crisis of fathering. Boys are growing up with less involved fathers. Boys are growing up with less involved fathers and are more likely to drop out of school, drink, do drugs, become delinquent, and end up in prison because of the lack of guidance, because of the lack of direction, because of the lack of love. And it's a crisis of purpose. Boys' old sense of purpose, being a warrior, a leader, a sole breadwinner, are fading. Many bright boys are experiencing a purpose void, feeling alienated, withdrawn, and addicted to immediate gratification. So let's chew on that. Let's kind of process that.
Yeah.
These are the ramifications. These are the cause and effects that the boys are going through because they feel like they're not sustainable, because they feel like they're not apt, and they're not even taught how to
Right.
be, you know, how to really present themselves and function, or the initiated values of having a warrior spirit or a I'm going to take care of the family type of spirit. Right now, a lot of the boys are adapting the learned behavior from their mom. So you have a lot of son husbands out there.
Oh, that
You
brings
know what I
me
mean?
to
You gotta
something
you gotta
that
like
I
a lot of son
discovered.
husbands.
Can I-
And then they
Yeah.
turn into the minion because now you're a son husband. Now you're gonna go out there and do your mom's dirty work. So you're gonna now go protect her and every element and every ideology that she has because she's programmed you to make sure that's in play. Well, what about when your daughter want to go get married? What about when someone else's daughter want to go get married? They have to deal with this percentile of group of males.
Moody, hold that point for the next
Yes.
segment. I know you got something. We're excited to hear what you got to say. Don't forget, okay?
I won't.
You promise?
Yes.
All right. Denzel in the chat is actually right in line with what you were saying, talking about all these how all this leads to negative impacts on mental health for males. So you know he's right in line with what we're talking about. I want to bring up a new segment introducing this week called "What's Capping."
Okay.
And so these are going to be these little gems I'm going to drop to kind of make you say certain issues and stories that are going on. I really want to hear what Lana has to say about this. There's a new dating trend called hardballing. Sounds kind of nasty, but it's not. So hardballing is a term that explains when you tell someone all of your expectations up front before you even go out on the first date.
I'm with it.
So you get the whole
I'm with it.
joint out of the way before
with
the
it.
first date. Your expectations, and it all depends on the person, obviously. So you know it can be your life goals, what your own personal 1,
Short
3,
term.
5, 10-year
I'm
plan
with
is.
it. What? That is so
you vet
smart.
all of that out. And the main purpose for that is to weed out whatever suitors you have to I guess, so the cream can rise to the top.
Is it successful?
It's a no compromise method of maintaining boundaries and romantic goals.
That is
says,
so smart.
Says best-selling author Susan Winter.
What?
Yeah, that's a
basically
Gen Z
it's
thing.
So basically, you just sitting down and being direct. So it's before we
Brutally.
started.
So that's the capping part. Is it's not real.
No, it is real.
No one's gonna get on there and actually tell the truth inside. That's the capping to me.
It's not. So no. From what I've seen examples of it. So basically, like, how many kids do you want? It's not like, okay, what are your
You
plans?
said hardballing.
But it's
Hardballing
you're
is setting up your expectations and what you both want and how you.
Do you
I thought
expect
that
a
was
long
being
time?
grown. They call that
He's
hard.
talking
That's
about
called
the
hard.
time.
They done took being grind. Okay, I'm
You
sorry.
guys used to drop your handkerchiefs, and I heard this the other day.
Wait a minute. That's not just being upfront about what your 5-year plan was. It's just home. That's called hardballing. So we normally laugh.
Yes.
So the normality is to be a liar. And now, these are for the non-liars. For the honest people, you can hardball.
So perhaps hardballing is being honest.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's why I said it's
Definition
capping.
of hardballing. Okay, let me try to get it. Let me try to get some meaty, because like I'm a little
How much
confused.
time we got?
already.
Yeah, I know. We need to go to break.
We'll be back.
So Moody got 2 points to make now. We'll come back from break.
Wordsmith, man. Take us out,
I know I
man.
threw that out, man. So real quick, Chicagoland area surrounding suburbs. Infinity Tea Company has an upcoming event here at the gallery. So for more information, go to thegalleriadearte.com. We'll be back in a few, y'all.
Yes.
Hardballing. Curveballing.
I feel you watching me pull up across the room. I think you like the view. You gonna make a move. I don't make this easy for you. It's not intentional. I'm not responsible. I never played a game. But if it's in my face, I don't make it easy for you. Everyone is an option. I don't think that's a problem. No, my eyes make me sweet, but most people don't fuck with me. I don't make this easy for you. I don't make this easy for you. And now is the time between you and I. Get out of your head, step into my mind, be that easy for you. I could be that easy for you. Baby, I like to learn. How do you wanna feel? Tell me your fantasies as you discover me. Can I make this easy for you? I wanna make it easy for you. And it's not intentional. I'm not responsible. I never play the games. But if you're in my way, I don't make this easy for you. I won't be that easy for you. Everyone is an option. I don't think that's a problem. No, my eyes make me sweet, but most people don't fuck with me. I don't make this easy for you. I don't make this easy for you. And now is the time between you and I. Get out of your head, step into my mind, be that easy for you. I could be that easy for you. And now is the time between you and I. Get out of your head, step into my mind, be that easy.
Broadcasting live, Fibonacci Radio. Alchemis here with Lana.
Who is Lonnie?
I don't know what the hell happened. Lana and MoodE, commonly known as MoodE, aka. So now, but y'all got me kind of
What?
You got your
geeked
notes
about
out,
this topic.
so
Yeah, I got
go
my
ahead
notes.
and
You
get
know,
into it.
I'm pumped up. Y'all got me kind of. We talked about the boy crisis, written by Warren Farrell. We're covering the aspect on how this affects the young men in our community, how it affects their dating, how it affects their success, how it affects the women in our culture, how that relationship affects us now, how it affects the divorce rate,
Right.
how it affects us as a success, as an individual, as a people. And the first aspect of it was the lack of a father in the home. Then we started breaking down the effects of a lack of father. We talked about the depressionary values. We talked about the ideology that most young men don't even want to take care of things anymore. You know, we talked about the fact that it's kind of it's an initiated value that has to happen, that a lot of the society, a lot of us in our society have been missing as young men, is that there's been no initiation. It's kind of like we talked about, you get a participation trophy.
Yeah.
Your mom's gonna protect you even if you're wrong. You know what I mean? So if you start seeing these type of levels of
Your sister's gonna beat anybody up over you.
like that you could do no
whether
wrong.
Whether you right or wrong.
And then and then we're talking about the son husbands, and that's a term that's coined because the son husband, what he does, he replaces the father, with an inapt ability to understand what a man is. So now he's out in the community because he serves his mother and does his mother's bidding. He, in his mind, feel like he's a man because these are the things that I did for my mama. That's when the son husband term comes, because with this same very factor, there's no learned behavior, or there's no infrastructure that young man has as far as dealing with adversity, critical thinking, making decisions, and some of the components and sense of direction and vision that males bring, discipline, self-discipline, and the initiated values, being held up to those initiated values. Most moms, why would you hold up somebody up to that initiated value when they can work for you? When, you know what I mean? When they can do the things that you need at that moment. Some other moms are taking the emotions that they have, or the dysfunctionalities that they have, and they're putting them inside the son. Now the son goes out there, eventually he gonna be a physical male, a strong male. So he goes out there becoming a strong male, but emotional, lack of direction, lack of understanding, sacrifice to a certain degree, lack of understanding.
Or even if he does find a partner, it's such an imbalance, because then you can't get the mom out the way, like his mother out the way, for you to really be the woman that you're supposed to be in. That, you get what I'm saying? Like as a partner to him.
Or
like
he
there's
wants you to
always
be the mama.
this weird, right?
Or he
you
wants
my
you
God,
to be the mama. You know what I mean?
that's
So
even worse.
that becomes the issue, is either that,
Yeah.
you know, there's an expectation, because there's a trade-off. The mom, like Warren Farrell said, is carrying guilt. She's carrying guilt because of what she's not able to give her son that he needs completely. So she in turn says, well, I make enough money, because the boy crisis starts, it triggers from the women in our society right now that we discussed, that are allowed to not to have to need a male, to not have to, that don't need a man in the house at all. Well, if you don't need a man in the house at all, then you do things the way you see fit and accordingly, because you can put a roof over someone's head, because you could pay bills, you could live check to check, or you could save money to the point where it substantiates the boy as far as tangibles, but then there are so many things missing as a sense of direction and how the world is going to view him. He has to compete. He got to get out there, and then we talked about it before. You have a daughter, you have a son. You take all their tangibles away and take all the things, their belongings away. When she get to school, she can still get attention.
Yeah.
When he get to school, he has to do something outrageous now to get attention.
Yeah.
He has to do something outlandish to get attention. He has to show out. He has to be the clown or the class clown, you know, to get attention. She doesn't have to do anything. She could just rest into her femininity, you know what I'm saying? or however she wants to come off and still get the attention that she wants without an iPad, without a telephone, without keys to a car. So, you know, some of the things that we're talking about, and I don't know how y'all feel about them, but one of the things that I thought was interesting was that 50% of worldwide boys are 50% less likely than girls to meet the basic proficiency in reading, math, and science.
That's what you said last before we went to break.
Yeah, you know, and that's so meaning that if you look at the statistics, if a child isn't hugged over a certain amount of hours when they're born or something like that, they can go into a stage of kind of I don't know what they call it now, but it's a disability, a learning disability. Yeah, if a child isn't touched or hugged, there's what do you call it? There's statistics that show there's going to be some type of disability psychologically,
Oh,
you know what I
wow.
mean, or brain processing with that child. Like it's like at a high rate, like
Right.
80% or 90%. Like if the child has to be held or hugged.
Or some type of, some
It
type
has
of
to be
physical,
a human interaction for that child to understand this.
Oh, I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I know, okay, yeah, I know what you're talking
because
about now.
we talked about that in Anatomy of the Ego. The first stage of one of the first stages of your
Yeah.
ego is understanding self. You know, the reflection of self, knowing that you exist and knowing that you're here.
Yeah.
To be here, but not knowing that you're here. You know what I'm saying? And not that be reaffirmed. Not having that mirror image. And I think that's similar to not having that mirror image with a father. You know, the boys are out there without the mirror image, and without the mirror image, the performance is down.
But you even think of like how affectionate people are. Like you can tell when somebody comes from a very affectionate type of family, and you can tell when someone doesn't. Like just by how, you know, just basic interactions with other people. Like you have some people where like they get too close, you know, they're just too touchy-feely. They're just super friendly. It's like, why are you? And you have someone who's not accustomed to that. Like, why are you touching me? Like, why are you so close? Back up. I need 3 feet. Have you not heard? Like, you have, it depends on how you were brought up. Because, like, I'm one of those. Like, we weren't very affectionate. Like, we wasn't, though. Like, it was just, like, you get affection to, like, a certain age. And I think, like, I was very old school, so it was more like, let's toughen you up, right? So, but you're not realizing, or, like, I didn't get it congratulated a lot. But my mom believes, like on some tough love,
And
was
bragged
gonna
about
push
you probably
bragged about
more
me,
than you can ever
but would
imagine.
never say like good job. Do you get what I'm saying? Like it didn't matter how good, and I get it. Like as we got older, we talked about it, but then it made me realize how I process my accomplishments now and how I don't even speak about things that I've done. But it's because when I did them growing up, they weren't a big deal. They were never made to be a big deal.
Okay, so how does that affect a boy? And
So
what
I'm saying is, I'm just saying just in general. So like, let's say you have, in the reverse, let's say you have a mom, and any little thing you do, you get congratulated for, rewarded. Like, and these are things that maybe you shouldn't get rewarded for. And I use this as an example. Like, as an example, when it comes to men and men, it is more acceptable for a man not to be in a child's life, but if you hear the reverse, like, oh, well, the mom was in the baby's life, it's like, what? The mom was? It's like, well, wait a second.
The
like,
dad
why?
has just as much
The dad
value.
has just as much value.
Yep.
Or why am I being like? And don't get it twisted. Like every situation is different. So I know it's going to be somebody commenting, well, I wasn't. We're not talking about the few that falls.
Yeah,
you
we're
know,
talking
like
about
Warren Farrell's book, there's a quote that he does speak on that, what you're talking about. And he does explain that the better parent is both parents.
Right.
Because neither the father or the mother can compensate for the money that they provide, the love that they provide, and the presence that they're providing in their child's life. So either one is the better parent. They're both. Because they're just as equally held accountable as for the child's outcome.
What do you mean by either? You mean you're saying both parents are necessary?
Yeah.
Basically.
But you're saying regardless if it's the mom or dad, like they're both equally as important. So whether the dad's not present and the mom is, or the mom isn't present and the dad is.
Just piggybacking
right.
off of
That's
your
what I'm saying.
point,
So
yeah.
regardless, like both of them are regardless of which one is there. And that's the part. But why is it so acceptable for a man to just not be there? Like, I never understood that, and I feel like even when it comes up in conversation, it's just more excusable. Like,
Kind of like the term deadbeat mom is a foreign
like
sounding
when you
term.
hear
Doesn't really
someone
sound
say,
as
"Oh,
right.
well, my dad raised me." I bet you people have more curiosity as to, oh, well, how did that happen? Than when you go, oh, my mom raised me. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's expected.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
why? Like, I never.
I mean, it's expected because, and that's what we talked about. It's expected because economically, it's easy to feel that the man is disposable. This whole crisis started
Right.
when the woman in a first world society, in a first world country like ours, have the opportunity of getting all the things that she needs for tangibles, for home, for food, for job opportunities, to do all the things that she deemed that she wants to do, to be who she wants to be, to make decisions on a child, to make decisions on birth, to make all these decisions. When you're able to make all these decisions, then at what point do you not feel like you can make the ultimate decision and not need a man? You know what I mean?
Right,
Society has said
but-
that everything that you like there's no fair reasoning
I
of
agree.
needing a man other than the attributes of a male. Of an actual man.
I agree.
You know-
I agree, because I just feel like even when you have like sons that have like kids, and let's say they're not the best dads, but then you'll see like their moms like, you know, be like talk about or praise, oh, my son's such a good father, and rewarding the basic of the basic, you know, like behavior or things done for her grandchild. But it's like she'll praise, you would think the way that she praises her son, you would think he was there every single day, or he was always involved, or, you know, just always had his hand. And it's like, I just see it being
But that goes
rewarded.
part with what I was saying. It's the connection that the mom has with the son. The reward is you defend me, and I let you get your way.
And I let you get your way.
I don't
Okay.
care how you slice. That's the son husband. You defend me, and I let you get your way. If I let you get your way, then I'm letting you be undisciplined. Period.
Okay.
I'm letting you do you. I'm letting you do what you want, how you want. I'm covering your tracks. And I'm covering your tracks because I got guilt, because I might have ran your father off. I might have chose the money over your father.
Right.
I might have, I might not have chose to deal with any sacrifices related to your father. He might have been a little dysfunctional. I might have chose to look at the latter of the two. Either way, I didn't supplement what you needed. And I think that guilt comes in. It's not about, like you guys said, hey, if it's a bad relationship, somebody buking somebody, or, you know what I mean, dog walking
that's
somebody, then
different.
you don't stay there. But then you still have to recognize what that child needs, what nutrients that it needs as far as the composites of a male in its life. And the crisis is that the nutrients for women have become money. The crisis have become the tangible things and the opportunity to just say, I don't need you day to day. Well, it doesn't, to me, it rears its ugly head when that same woman starts getting criticized on how her child behavior is, his failures, how he can't get a girlfriend, or how he can't get along, or how he can't keep a job, or how he's spoiled, or how he run the streets. And the minute that happens, that same woman starts blaming the lack of the father being there. Now it turns into a deadbeat dad, when the whole time, in my opinion, and breaking down from Warren Farrell, a lot of women feel with a lack of knowledge that their route and their ideology can work. A lot of women feel like, you know what, I got that covered. Give me the money and I can handle it. Well, here's the issue. A lot of those women are the same women that didn't have a dad. You know what I mean? So now we're talking about, you know, the cycle that's continuing on, because we're not talking about why the dad is not there.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're just talking
But
about the dad not being there and what
Yeah.
the effects of that is.
I do
Lana,
f-
keep that point, please. We need to. It's hot, man. It's hot. I
Yeah,
probably keep
it
cutting
is.
you off, Lana. Every time
Yeah,
you
it
get
is.
No,
something to
you're
say.
good.
Yeah.
You're good.
Lana
you're
be
good.
about to let it clip off.
Yeah,
You're good.
don't forget that thought.
I will.
It sounds like to your last point, Alchemist. There's so many cycles and so much generational dysfunction that's going on. I'm glad we're addressing this. We have to start working on breaking these cycles, people. There's so many things that are ingrained in us from a societal perspective, from a generational family perspective. We have to really start. And I'm hoping these conversations will lead to solutions as to how to break these cycles, because that's the only way we're going to make progress and kind of turn these antiquated ideologies around, is to break these cycles. So
But it's not, and I hate that. I know you're getting the final word, but it sounds
That's fine.
cookie. It sounds cookie cutter, because to break the cycle, you got to start telling individuals stop deciding to go for the money?
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I mean, let's go ahead
to
and
break the
like
cycle, you have to
Yeah.
bring it up, and I like the fact that at least the conversation has to be had. Family, how many conversations do your
cycle.
family not want to have?
Yeah.
All
Compared
of
to the
them.
conversations
My
that
family
they do
doesn't
want to
wanna
have.
have any conversation
Exactly.
except if it's about
So I think
Jesus,
that's where
then we
it
can talk
starts
about that.
originally.
And granted, there's gonna be some
Originally.
tough choices have to.
You
If you want,
know,
if you want to break the
but-
cycle, some tough choices are gonna
Yeah.
have to be made, have to be had, and some many bad habits are gonna have to be broken. It's not gonna be easy. You know, I say break the cycle. That is the way
That's the
to
term.
fix it. But
Yeah.
that's obviously easier said than done on so many different levels. So definitely. Galleria de Arte and its affiliate sponsor Export Fitness invites you to join our upcoming live events. Shout out to Export Fitness. For more information, as always, check out our website, thegalleriadearte.com, and make sure you like and subscribe all across the board. And we'll be back for our final segment,
Yes.
Sir,
Fibonacci Live.
Alchemist, let's do it.
Let's get it.
She said that she hate me, I hate me too. I can always tell when you're lying, girl, you're see-through. All these miles away, yeah, I just wanna see you. Baby, give me good face, she hit me like seafood. Number one, I saw you, hi, it's nice to meet you. No, my old girl salty, she just wanna be you. I'm a dog, no Maltese, I don't wanna leave you. Once you're right here, I just don't wanna mistreat you, no. Cause I've been a douchebag before, baby girl, I don't wanna repeat. She just won't please me, she look in my eyes, told me why are you bleeding? And I don't even know how to answer. I take these drugs to my bladder. She says she noticed a pattern, she say I look gorgeous, I tell her I'm flattered, but I hate my reflection. When I look at you, all I see is perfection. I'm so depressed and I don't know the reason, just wanna feel better. Hate my reflection. When I look at you, all I see is perfection. I'm so depressed and I don't know the reason, just hope I feel better. Don't know the reason, just hope I feel better. I just hope I feel better. You said that you love me, don't know if it's still true. Hate it when you're not here, love it when I'm with you. You say you don't trust me, all the shit we've been through. Why you always upset? I don't really get you, I don't really get you. Why should I always gotta be so stressful? Baby, can you tell me why are you so vengeful? I don't understand you, I can't live without you, but I can't fucking stand you. I'm just so obsessed, I should take better care of myself, but fuck it. Blacked out in public, on that like she upset, but I know she love it. I hate my reflection. When I look at you, all I see is perfection. I'm so depressed and I don't know the reason, just wanna feel better. Hate my reflection. When I look at you, all I see is perfection. I'm so depressed and I don't know the reason, just hope I feel better. Don't know the reason, just hope I feel better. I just hope I feel better.
The female, there obviously are certain things that we can see that are completely.
Fibonacci Live, we back and
Let's pop in.
Lana.
Yes.
Breaking
On
it
fire.
down. Can you?
Okay, so
She
yeah.
was just bringing it in. We just wanted her to roll on in with the topic.
Okay, so
You were talking about the feminist.
right, I was like, do I want to
perspective
go
of
back
things.
from the top? Okay, so this is my thing. Like, I don't agree. And you're probably gonna be like, where did this come from? But just hear me out. So I don't agree with the concept of being a feminist. I feel like with a feminist comes a domination And I don't individually want to be like, to have this domination type of mentality. I want equal opportunity. So where there is like unequal gender statistics or rules or pay or opportunities, like I think that it should be even across the playing field. But the issue that I'm having, and I'm tying this into the boy crisis, is with the newfound power that females have had as far as like having the opportunity to provide for themselves and make choices and have options. I think that there's a part of us that are stuck on a power trip, and there are things that we're not considering when it does come to raising a child in a two-parent household, because I've seen women a lot of times break up with somebody or not deal with somebody for like honestly petty shit, and they regret it. Like when they decided to, because they wouldn't put their ego aside, or they wouldn't take accountability in their like, you know, in their point of view, where they're just so dead on like, well, this shit is supposed to be my way. And I feel like right now as a society, when you talk about moms feeling guilty for maybe running off the son's father, it's like I've seen women like dead ass show wrong, but because you want to fall or play victim, you want to play victim like a female when it's convenient, but you don't want to check the fact that your ego is wrong. So now you've ran off a good man. Let's talk about it. Like, he's not perfect, but he's genuinely a good man. So now you're willing to be a single mother because in your mind you have this newfound opportunity to provide for your child, and you want to be like, well, I got it, I got the money, I could do bad all by myself, not realizing the damage, because in reality you won't check your ego. Like in every situation, the man's not wrong. Like I've had my fair share of like horrible relationships, but I say that because nobody's perfect, and I've had to grow and accept accountability on my end. So I know that women do, and it's easy for a woman not to have to do that right now either, because I call the shots. I pay the bills. I probably make more than you. I'm probably in a better situation than you are. So you're not gonna come in my space and tell me, you know, like it's this like ego trip. And I'm just putting it out there. I just feel like that is a part of the man crisis. It's like women have found this newfound power, and a lot of us don't know what to do with it. We don't know how to balance it.
It says here, as developed countries had the luxury to permit divorce, they responded by creating the era of multi-option woman. Raise children, raise money, or some combination of both, while continuing the history era of the non-option man. That is a dad's third options. We're still raise money, or raise money. So I was just taking that one of the quotes out of his book that reflected exactly to what you're saying, is that the bottom line is that the luxury for women to have the things that they want has caused a crisis. I'm not saying every woman. If you feel like that, then it probably is. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it a buck. If that's how you feeling inside, then that's probably that woman. You probably got a son or husband. You know, but nevertheless, it still is affecting. It's affecting the kids. It's affecting the way we move in society, the way we have respect, the way we actually hold each other accountable, the way we stay in balance. Because you were mentioning the word feminist.
Yeah.
And equality. The issue is that, and Candace Owens, shout out to Candace Owens, she made a comment, and it's been mentioned by several other people. Warren Farrell mentioned it, Kevin Samuel mentioned it, and that is that women ideally pick jobs that aren't manly related, not manly related, but not competing as far as in a male society. They're not picking the jobs that most men pick in our society that pay more money. The women are actually picking the jobs that pay the less. You know what I'm saying? As far as, you know, not talking about circumstantial or isolated incidents, but as far as statistically, what's happening is women aren't even picking the jobs that are risky, the jobs that require that certain level, and that's why Kevin Samuels always pick on women that say realtor or nursing or things that are based on certifications, because those jobs ideally you don't have to give too much of your personality up. You don't have to give up much self-discipline, you know what I mean, to maybe go for the higher level, the educated circumstance, because they're more They're more they're not as tangible. So I can
Yeah.
go out right now and get myself certified, and those certifications are based on sales. Those certifications are based on potentiality.
Right, but so I agree with that, and I feel like the thing that comes into when we talk about just in that aspect, and why I do understand, because if you work in corporate America, which now, especially Black women, we are the highest percentage of college graduate, or women in general have more college degrees, more masters, more any type of. So the thing is, a lot of these jobs equate to corporate jobs. So the issue is when you go into a corporate setting, and I'm working, and I like to call them Boys and Girls Club because I worked in a few, where as a female, it doesn't matter where you went, you have to go to the top of the schools, you have to get the top of all of these, you have to be perfect, you have to walk in perfect, you have to be perfect, you cannot mess up one time to get the same attention. And let's go ask for the same pay that your counterpart got in walking in off the gate just because.
See, so you're doing a counter against it.
Well, no, I'm not doing a counter. What I'm saying is like it's a real thing. So.
But the countering part of it is that this is the countering part. The women have a choice to leave that job that really pay less than the other job that's the pipe fitter, and the other jobs that pay 3 times more. She can actually not have to get in that arena if she don't want to.
Right. I
did want to.
So, but thing is, that's not just specified to that. Like I've seen it. Like I have.
I don't know if you got. I don't know if I completed my whole point.
Okay.
I was really making a full round.
Right. Okay. Go ahead.
Chop up that little part of it, but it'll keep us stuck.
Gotcha.
On my overall point. My overall point is based on the statistics and the choices that our women are making with these master's degrees, with these PhDs.
Okay.
First of all, they're getting these degrees in arenas that don't economically pay a certain amount of money that allows them to put themselves in a position to retire alone, or to put enough money to save to not have to work again. These jobs aren't really designed like that. The second thing is that there has been discrimination against women the same way when you go into nursing. A lot of men can't get maneuver in certain positions because of the discrimination when you go to be a male nurse. I've taught to cut male nurses' hair and cut people's hair over years. They get their discriminatory values too.
Okay.
So he chose to go there and be a nurse though.
Right.
No one feels sorry for the guy. You know what I mean? He can't go and say, hey, you know what? They always want to hire the female nurse. Every time I put my job in, I hear this all the time. Well, why? No one cares. No one hears his shout out.
Right.
But you're going to hear the shout out. Well, that's fine because these women are getting these jobs. There's expectations behind these things, not just the job and the amount. It has to take care of, and it has to provide and compete as a man. So now you're in the job, and you're in an arena that really doesn't really put you in a position to still live by yourself, pay all the bills, save $20,000 a month, take care of a kid, or it doesn't really. You're just not in that arena. Okay.
I've been signing on the city lights. All this doubt around me, then but look, I got it right. Don't you try to hit me, now you live a petty life. All those nights I lay awake, I pray for better life. Now I wake up with a baddie like I said I might. This a better life, you never tried, I bet it right. This a better life, you never tried, I bet it right. You been stuck is where you at because you never tried. Want a better life, I had to try, I bet it right. Yeah, I just took a chance and yeah, let me write. Look, I just took a chance and yeah, I rolled the dice. Yeah, women I'll be bad because the folk was nice. But yeah, I must admit that this ain't overnight. I just hit the double with the jackpot. I'm in the snow, this in New England, but I'm dying high. Now I'm not for the music when I can't stop. Ain't gon' let me anywhere to ask me. Ask a favor or a shout out to gas me. Really, they ain't take a risk, but want the outcome. Then asking how come. I've been signing on the city lights. All this doubt around me, then but look, I got it right. Don't you try to hit me, now you live a petty life. All those nights I lay awake, I pray for better life. Now I wake up with a baddie like I said I might. This a better life, you never tried, I bet it right. This a better life, you never tried, I bet it right. You been stuck
shots, I never call it quits. Trust my intuition, bet it's right and bitch it often is. Seen too many others come and go, they had the wrong intent. Do it out of love and never for it, then I watch it get bigger than expected. No second guess it, I let it set it. It's God's plan, we out here only accepting blessings.
We here now.
Fibonacci Live here. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I was waiting on Ruben to hit me with that pointer finger. Sorry about that, guys. But what I was just want to roll out before we end the show is isolating my point about the crisis starts at the males, right? Not being there. Well, the question then goes to, well, why isn't the male there?
Right.
Okay? The male isn't there because there are funds that's provided where normally when the male's resources, his job, his position of security, all of those things are usually what provides him as a valuable or viable resource. And like we're saying, if you can get a job, most women have most people with the degrees are women. So that means you can get the job. If you can't get the job, you can get public aid. You can get SNAP, EBT, or whatever type of governmental assistance that you can. So now you have the resource. You have a roof over your head, you have food in your mouth, and you can make decisions on the child. You can make decisions on the birth. You can make all these personal decisions that you can make without the assistance of a man again. So now, once you have this power, because you were talking about that earlier on the show, the ego comes into play. So then I was talking about the term feminist or feminism brought up. So the feminist part is being equal. So once society has made you feel equal, and this is the part that I want to chime in on. Society, once they give you all these things, they're gonna make you feel equal. If they say, hey, you know what, I could give you all the things that you won't need from that man, then you're going to start feeling equal. You're going to start feeling equal. Now, you're not equal because you're not a man, and the man isn't equal to being a woman.
Right.
But the issue that I'm getting is the term equality or looking for equal. Well, the true essence of equal for a man and a woman is to have a balance, and when it comes to is to have the individual balance, and when it comes together to be a whole. So to me, the misconception about equality in the retrospect of our economy and as far as wages and earnings and tangibles, I feel like the fact that the women are given the option and the luxury of picking whatever they want to be, not just you forced to go wade by the water and go gather grain.
Already made it, y'all can miss me. I smack my girl's ass, tell her pinch me. It's hard to believe I made something from nothing. No hindsight discussions, I've been writing, I love it. All this doubt around me, damn it, look, I got it right. Don't you try to hit me, now you live a petty life. All those nights I laid awake, I pray for better life. Now I wake up with a baddie like I said I might. This a better life, you never tried, I bet it right. This a better life, you never tried, I bet it right. You been stuck is where you at because you never tried. Want a better life, I had a try, I bet it right.
se puede.